So, Ellen Degeneres has been under a ton of media scrutiny lately. The internet has been completely lighting her ass up.
But I personally don't think that all of that negativity that she's receiving is granted.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So, in case you guys don't know, Ellen has risen to fame and has become well known for her persona of being an advocate of kindness and generosity. She would always end her shows talking about how, oh, I've been preaching kindness for 10 years, blah, 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 blah. And...
Sounds like your impression of Ellen?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were just exaggerating. You were actually trying?
Anyways, I don't need this in my life. So, but yeah, she's known for doing that at the end of her shows. So, naturally, people feel like she is a good person and that she literally practices what she preaches and is a kind person. But it's been coming to light recently, and I don't necessarily know how it's only been recently, considering the fact that, I mean, these clips have been around for a fat minute. So it's been coming to light recently that maybe she's not as kind as she would like the world to see her as, and as she portrays herself as. We're going to go over some stuff that you guys have probably already seen before, but just kind of give our opinions on whether or not we think Ellen deserves all the scrutiny and backlash that she's getting.
Yes, I'm going to be playing more so devil's advocate.
As usual.
Yeah. Because I generally do believe that sometimes people are just misunderstood. And I always aim to try to understand before I actually give my final verdict.
And I think that she is a very narcissistic, petty, domineering, and just demeaning person, as far as I can tell. I don't know Ellen. I've never met Ellen. I don't even really watch the Ellen show, because I will tell you that famous clip that's been going around of her humiliating that audience member who took the hat, that's what first turned me off of Ellen. So those are just my feelings based off of what I've seen. But again,
they were like, we have to talk to you. She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chip nail polish.
What?
And I was like, what? They were going to suspend me if I hadn't quit for the 2 weeks.
This poor waitress who was just serving Ellen and Portia at a famous vegan restaurant, and Ellen complained about her nail polish being chipped. Like, it is incredibly selfish and narcissistic of you to believe that somebody, you have insulted me by coming into my presence with chipped nail polish. You know, like, as though anybody's even thinking about it this way. The owner of the restaurant, because Ellen is rich and famous and powerful, she can just email the owner of the restaurant and complain on this waitress. And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly enough, they were going to suspend her for 2 weeks with no pay. Luckily she quit. I would have done the same thing, like, that place. But that's ridiculous. You are rich, famous, and clearly powerful, and instead of using that influence for kindness and good, you are ruining people's lives. Could you imagine? I mean, could you just think about you yourself at home, the viewer, going 2 weeks without pay? For most of us, that would really impact our lives.
Ellen probably made the exact same amount of money in the 20 minutes that she sent the email.
As that lady probably made those 2 weeks. You think shit revolves around you, and it doesn't.
The thing about defending the devil is that you're defending the devil. You know, because I'm devil's advocate.
You chose to.
I don't know that I can defend this one. When I first heard it, because, you know, I hadn't seen this clip until now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first heard about that, I thought it was more about her, maybe like her nails were not cut properly. So maybe like a little bit of the chip of her nail was on the food. or anything like that. I didn't realize it was like on like her actual nail polish. Number one, and number two, I didn't realize that Ellen went out of her way to send an email about this. That I don't know what I don't know what I can say about that one.
I'm not sure that there's a lot.
We're gonna play the fifth on this one because there's one thing left. Like, okay, so let's just say that you're the owner of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to be Ellen. We happen to be great friends outside of the restaurant thing. And in passing, you're like, "Oh, I saw you at the restaurant on Monday. How was it?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it was good. I will say, find a little nail in my food, but it's all good." I didn't realize that she went out of her way to complain about not even the nail being chipped on the food or affecting the food, just the fact that she had chipped nail polish. All right, now something that I know that I can defend her on is, and if you are anywhere involved, any way involved in the beauty community in YouTube, you probably heard of Nikki Tutorials. Now, it appears that she came out some time ago, and so she went into the Ellen show to talk about coming out. She was mistreated, and she was not allowed to use the restroom. Apparently, they had like private bathrooms, and they were all reserved for the Jonas Brothers, and so she didn't have her own private bathroom. So she calls being mistreated not being able to have her own private bathroom, which to me is, I personally would be happy, stoked, thankful, blessed, and everything to even be let in the building where they taped the Ellen show. So for me expecting my own private bathroom because I'm a guest, or expecting like the red carpet treatment because I'm a guest, talk about narcissistic and egotistical. At least that's how I see that. So I don't know that I can blame Ellen for that. Number one, it's not like Ellen said, "Hey, you can't use the restroom." She just didn't have a private restroom. Number two, were you expecting to have a private bathroom? Were you expecting this treatment, and when you didn't get it, you were angry or you felt some type of way about it? Or was it the way that they told you? And then even Nikki said that she was surprised that the Jonas Brothers had their own bathroom and she didn't, even though she gets more YouTube videos than them. Which again, so you think that YouTube video views give you a value as a person, so therefore if you get more views than them, you're worth more than them? That's more a reflection on you than Ellen, in my opinion. And also she said that she was greeted by some intern that seemed that I guess the intern seemed rude and overworked. Again, that's a reflection of the intern, not of Ellen. If I go to Walmart and I encounter some worker that is pissed off and it's just not having a good day, I don't think, "Oh my god, your manager sucks. Your manager is so evil." No, that guy could be having a bad day. He could have just broken up with his girlfriend or boyfriend. So should that automatically be a reflection on Walmart or the person's boss? And you are maybe being too sensitive about the situation. And when I say you, again, I don't mean no disrespect, Nikki. I don't know you. I'm just
gonna watch this video.
I'm just saying. Imagine she does though. And she goes on another show talking about how that mean Mexican. I don't need no diss tracks. No diss tracks, please, Nikki. Don't diss me. Don't at me.
The last portion of it, I agree with as far as the intern, because, you know, how an intern or how anybody at the Ellen show, okay, so in the grand scheme of things, yes, your people reflect you or are a reflection of you. That's just like if we were in uniform right now and we said something offensive, we could get fired because we are a reflection of the place we work for. So individually, you might not necessarily see it that way, but the world sees it that way. So you don't necessarily have to agree with that, but that's just how a lot of people look at things.
Okay.
However, in an objective sense, I agree with you that it is not. Because I could say something in the place I work for, no one there might think that way. But how the intern treated you, that was probably not Ellen's fault. So I do agree with you on that. As far as the other thing, I think you're missing the point in what people are, the issue that people are having, which is that Ellen does treat people who are more well-known better. That's an issue that a lot of people are having. She has been known to just be nice to celebrities and like that. The thing about it is, Nick, I can almost guarantee you that with the way that the world is right now, DeNOTsogeneres is probably more relevant than the Jonas Brothers. But because Ellen comes from an old school time where television was reigning supreme, and you know the Jonas Brothers and everything were around at that time, to them they're probably more important. All that did was reinforce this reputation that Ellen is starting to get, which is that she only gives a shit about big name celebrities and stuff like that. And this person who was coming on to represent something that you would think Ellen would identify with, being a part of that community and such, you would think that she would have at least pretended like she cared about DeNOTsogeneres' story, as opposed to Nikki coming on and feeling just very dismissed.
Very, very well made point. I can see some favoritism there, but again, man, you should expect favoritism within Hollywood.
This is a guest that is honestly, I'm sure that the Ellen Show is extremely popular, but I'm sure that brought in a different audience that probably didn't view Ellen very much. I mean, you've got somebody who is a young person in the beauty community who's bringing you a completely new audience, and I don't know this to be a fact, of, bringing in all these people. I mean, if DeNOTsogeneres is getting that many views on YouTube, and people found out she was on the Ellen Show, all those people who would probably normally not watch the Ellen Show would watch it. I don't watch the Ellen Show or DeNOTsogeneres, but if Repzion was invited on to Ellen, I'd probably watch Ellen because he was on there. So I'm sure that she got a lot of views from DeNOTsogeneres being on there, whereas who cares about the Jonas Brothers anymore? I think Ellen's fake. I mean, I think that's probably the general consensus right now, is that she's just fake, with all this, happiness and all that bullshit. So, of course, I'm going to reference a video that, again, I'm sure you guys have all seen, which is the one with Dakota Johnson, which was the lady from that horrible movie of 50 Shades of Grey.
It's subjective. There's a lot of people like that movie.
It's horrible.
You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But I did invite you and you didn't come. So.
This time you invited me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
And pretends like she doesn't know that she was invited to the party. And the thing about it is, how are you going to ask someone how do they know if they invited you to a party? Or tell someone you didn't invite me to a party? More than anything, Ellen, not everybody's going to invite you to their damn birthday party. Maybe she didn't want you there. You ever think about that? Like, Ellen is so entitled. And to sit here and try to call someone out for not inviting you to their birthday party, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm glad that she went toe-to-toe with her and didn't let her bully her into a corner. Oh, well, I'm so sorry.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it? Oh yeah, I had that thing. It was probably in Malibu. That's too far for me to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. No, I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, but I really didn't remember that until just now. And then...
Man, that was awkward. I'm sorry, I can't. Bro, what? That was awkward as... Okay, yes. To your point about bullying, yeah, I can see why you would say bullying. Number two, I can also now see your little rage that came out for a little second there, because
she's just rude.
It wasn't even like oh, you had a party, why wasn't invited? No, it was she wanted to. Why wasn't invited? You need to invite me. I want to go to a party. Stuff.
Stuff.
I mean, I give you a point. That is awkward. that is cringy. That's hard to watch because I feel uncomfortable, and I wasn't even in the room, much less being Dakota Johnson being interviewed at that point. What is wrong with you, Ellen? Come on, what? I can also see your point about the whole narcissism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, because and the entitlement, like you needed to invite, and then when it's found out that she was in fact invited, it was in Malibu, so it was too far for me.
And it's like, why would you ask, why didn't I go? We don't know.
Well, not only that, but it's
why didn't
like,
you go?
now it's like, oh no, oh yeah, I was too cool for that anyway. Oh yeah, no, I didn't even want to go, even though I made a whole big scene about it now. I cannot, we're gonna play the fifth on that one again.
So there was also something talking about how she's controlling her spouse. So here's the deal with this. I guess that there were some rumors about them breaking up or not breaking up, having different views on whether or not, having different views about children, different views about marriage, about adopting, whatever. And also, I guess Portia went to rehab for some time, and some people were blaming Ellen about it. But here's the deal with that. Who to say that Ellen is a bad person or a bad wife or not as kind or whatever because of the issues that they're going through in their relationship, to me is not relevant and idiotic, because that's their life, that's their marriage. No one really has it figured out. I mean, if marriage was an easy thing to figure out, the divorce rate wouldn't be so high. And it happens to the best of people. I actually look up to people. One of my favorite speakers is Tony Robbins. He talks about how he helps couples and all these different things. Even he got divorced. It sometimes just doesn't work out, man. And for us to say that it is her fault, we're not in there. So why is it her fault? You're adding to things that she doesn't deserve to be blamed for, because it could be Portia and Ellen is just trying to help, or it could not. But for us to speak on somebody's relationship, we gotta let, just like you said earlier, we gotta let celebrities have their own. They already don't have that much privacy to begin with. We gotta let them have that privacy and let them be themselves. So I understand why people might want to blame Ellen, because they're already blaming her for everything else. Might as well just be her fault too. But I don't know that it is her fault.
And I agree with that point. We don't know. You know, it's easy to look at video clips and say, okay, this is what you see here. You know, you can clearly see the person being an asshole. But when it comes to what happens behind closed doors, we don't know. And I think unless there's something out there that I just don't know about, I think for the most part, a lot of it is speculation that the negative things that are going on within the relationship have to be Ellen's fault. The thing about it is, we don't know a lot about Portia. I feel like I like her, but I only feel like I like her because I loved Arrested Development. So, like, I don't know anything about Portia as a person. She can be a terrible person. She could be a great person. We just don't know. And again, you know, I think that people expect that celebrities are going to be perfect, because that is the image that is portrayed to us often. You know, we've got them on the covers of magazines and websites and all over Instagram looking flawless, showing their flawless lives and everything like that. So we automatically assume that they're not humans. But regardless of whatever, divorce rates are extremely high because of the fact that people a lot of the times have issues within their relationships. It's extremely normal, and for anybody watching this or watching Ellen to pretend as though they've never had issues in their relationships that they're responsible for is extremely unfair. So I don't think that anybody can really be blaming Ellen without more evidence that she is indeed responsible for those issues. We don't know why they decided not to have kids, and maybe Portia did want kids and Ellen didn't, but Portia loves Ellen enough that she is willing to give that up for Ellen. We don't,
or backwards,
or vice versa. We don't really have room to judge a decision like that that's made between two couples. It's like me as someone who likes to work and pay my own bills and that type of thing. judging another woman for deciding to stay at home and take care of the kids. That is a decision that those two made within their relationship. We don't know the inner workings of their relationships, and people need to stop acting like they do just because you have a negative opinion on Ellen.
Leave Ellen alone. Leave her alone. Okay, so after telling all the points, it looks like, unfortunately, you win. Looks like Ellen is a terrible human being, and she deserves all the bad things that are happening to her and all of that stuff.
Bad things are happening to her.
Well, all the drama and whatever, all the hate and all that. So good job there.
So you guys tell us what you think. Leave it below in the comments. Do you agree more with him, that everybody is being a little too harsh on Ellen and we need to lighten up, look at it more so from her perspective, which I think we should do anyways. And her perspective is just, it seems. Or do you agree more so with me that Ellen is indeed a bag of, that she's not a great person, that she is a little bit of a liar?
Whatever you feel, just comment. It helps out. And yeah, let us know if you like this type of videos or not.
Yeah, let us know. And if you do, feel free to subscribe, give us a like, or if you don't, just leave it in the comments and tell us what we're doing wrong.
And then subscribe and leave us a like.
Yeah, leave us a like and subscribe anyways.
Yeah.
So for now, this has been another dose of Ponderall. Continue pondering
Everything.